Alright, if you get your coding array board out in front of you, we're going to go through it bit by bit here. And we'll start up here on the analog wing, and it's set up with these items over here are analog inputs. Here's your Arduino, and here is an expansion shield, and over here is the digital wing. Now you are not to take these apart until this class is over if you want to take them apart, but please leave them connected here. The beauty of the coding array is that everything is all connected and wired up through these interconnections. So we don't need to unsnap them or break them out or anything like that, and it'll work out great for this class. Now up here in the analog wing we have a slider. This is a potentiometer, and it's a variable resistor. At one end we have 5 volts connected, the other end we have ground, and then we have a slider that moves along this resistance material and creates a variable resistor. Now that variable resistor with 5 volts at one end and 0 volts on the other provides us with an output that will vary between 0 to 5 volts as we move this back and forth. The same device is exactly what's used in joysticks. It's just that the joysticks will have 2 of these instead of 1. Over here you have a Hall sensor. Oh, let me back up a little bit. Everywhere on this board is an identification of where it connects up to the Arduino, and in this case right here you see A0. That means it connects up onto Arduino input A0, and that's, let's see, where is that? That's over here. That's pin A0. You'll see that on your Arduino. So it's wired up through the circuit board into here. Okay, now you've got the Hall effect sensor. That's a magnetic sensor, and that's connected up to A1. No, excuse me, that's A2. The photoresistor module is connected up to A1. Now this is set up another voltage divider. You have the variable resistor connected to 5 volts, and then you have another resistor connected to ground, making this variable resistor module. And then A is the analog output that will vary somewhere between 0 volts and 5 volts to show you what this sensor is doing. Very sensitive sensor. You can put your finger up through it and it will still read light through your finger. You pretty much have to enclose it in like black tape or something to get a 0 reading off of it. Over here we have a thermistor module, and that's coming into A4, and that's a variable temperature sensor, and again it's set up as another voltage divider section. And when we talk about voltage dividers later in the course, you'll know what I'm talking about there. And then we have a microphone module. And we won't be using the microphone module in this course, but that can be easily set up as a hydrophone. Down here you have a flame sensor. Okay? And that's a infrared detection module. And what's interesting is you can use this and point say a remote control at it and watch it blink and everything. And I'm going to try it right now while we're talking and see. You can see as I point my remote control at it, you can see the little blue light blinking on it there, hopefully. Okay, so if nothing else, it works as real quick as a remote control tester. And in case you didn't know, you can always pull up your camera on your phone and point the sensor at your camera sensor, and it too will see the infrared pulses from your remote controls. Okay, now these two sensors here, let me see, A4 and A5, are multiplexed with the display. If you want to use these two sensors, we cannot use the display, and that's done with this switch over here. There's a 2-position switch, one that says A, which means 4, and 5, or I2C, which means these two here. I mean this display right here. Okay? Now, over here, you've got an LED module that's on digital pin 13, a push button that's on 8, a touch sensor. Okay, I have a little program in there that'll light this one up green, push the green button, push the sensor, and the red light comes on. Okay, and that's on input 7. This is 7, that's 8, and then the red is output 9, green is output 10, this LED is output 13. Here's your digital humidity and temperature sensor. That will give you a digital temperature and humidity value, and it's on pin 12. Here's a beeper. It's on pin 6. Now we have a servo. You can use servos for actuators and everything, and that's on digital pin 3. And then there's an ultrasonic distance measuring device, and let's see, where is that? That's on pins 5 and 4. Alright, so these are all the devices that are on this board, and we will be using most of them in this course. Now, if you want to, say, connect up some experiments, and you want to, say, connect it up to pin A0, and you want to play with a voltage divider, well, you come over here to this and flip that switch to the off position, and then you can bring in a jumper and plug it in here and wire it up to your external sensor that you might have. And when you're done with that, put it back to the on condition to connect up whichever device you have out there. Your Arduino wants your USB cable plugged in, and for this, everything we're doing, you can get power for it from the USB cable. Let's see, there's the reset button down here to go on reset code. That'll take care of that, and you can see your display here, and we'll be going through this, and you'll see the display changing as we move on.